Hi everyone! Today we're going to talk about how to sing long phrases without going blue in the face. You know how sometimes when you're singing this phrase and you're like, oh, I just wish I could make it to the end of that phrase, but then you run out and you're just kind of running on fume. So we're going to talk about how to not do that and what the possible problems might be. Today we're going to be talking about a breathing technique called appoggio, which derives from an Italian verb appoggiare, which means to lean or to support. And this is a bel canto technique that involves the engagement of intercostals and abs. So let me kind of give you how the abs and intercostals play a part in breath support and how long you can sustain a phrase. So if you think about it this way, I think it'll make more sense. So your abs are the primary muscles that push the air out of your body. And the intercostals, which are the muscles between your ribs, are the muscles that try to pull back in the air. And so if you think of it like the abs are the accelerator and the intercostals are the brakes, by engaging both of these muscles, you create tension, you create resistance, and that gives you more control over how much air goes out. So you have, instead of going just engaging the abs, just kind of let the air go out of your body. But if you engage the intercostals, it gives that resistance. So you'll be able to control your outgoing air much better. So let's talk about how to engage the intercostals and abs when you are singing. So we're going to talk about the inhale first, how to really inhale the body so that you're really maximizing the engagement of your intercostals and your abs. So if you can breathe just through an ah, let the breath go all the way to the pelvic floor, let the belly expand, and let the rib cage and the back expand all the way. So let's try that. Ready, and breathe in. And you should feel your rib cage tight and the back should feel full. And if you can tell, one way to see if you are really maximizing the inhalation is by watching your shoulders. As the lungs fill up with air, the rib cage expands, and your shoulders at the top of the inhale should go back slightly, like that. So I'll show you. So breathe in. Do you see that? It's very, very slight and very subtle. So let me try this. I'll show you again. So here's my shoulders. I'm breathing in. Very, very, very slightly. And you feel your back very full. And if you haven't seen my video on how to breathe correctly, I will link that up in the video. So you can go click and listen to how to breathe correctly. So let's do it again. I want the breath to go all the way down into the pelvic floor. Pelvic floor, if you don't know what that is, that's like the area where you pee and poo, and you want the air to go down all the way down, fill up your lower belly, mid belly, and all the way to your rib cage and the back. And another thing that you want to watch out for is that you don't want to over inhale. A sign of over inhaling is when your chest heaves. So you could be, if that feels like you're over inhaling, or if you feel like, oh, that feels really uncomfortable, you feel tension, you're over inhaling. So you want the rib cage to really maximize its horizontal space, but you don't want it to go vertical. So let's try again. Ready, and breathe in. And exhale. And your back feels full because your lungs are in the back too, right? Okay, so at the top of the inhale, when the rib cage expands, the intercostals are engaged. And when you sing, you want to try to keep the rib cage as expanded as possible. So you don't want to collapse. If you just go, your rib cage collapses and everything collapses. So you want to keep the rib cage as erect as possible. And so let's try this. We're going to inhale and you're going to exhale through your teeth while keeping the rib cage erect and trying to keep the rib cage as expanded as possible, as much as possible. Okay, so let's breathe in. And exhale. And try to keep the rib cage as tight as possible, like taut and expanded as possible, all the way to the end. And at the end of your exhale, just release, relax, but without collapsing at the, so it's really important that you don't collapse the ribcage at the end of your exhale. You keep the ribcage erect. Just release the belly, release tension, and breathe in again. So let's try again. Ready, and breathe in. And exhale. And when you do that, when you try to engage the intercostals by trying to expand the rib cage, your abs engage automatically. So you don't have to think about it, but know that the abs and intercostals are both being used. So I'm gonna teach you how to do this while you're singing by using this exercise band. So you can wrap this exercise band around your rib cage, and when you breathe, you want to open this up. And when you sing or when you exhale, you want to wrap it, and you're going to feel this tension, right? And you want to resist this temptation. And you want to wrap it and then exhale through your teeth, or try singing your phrase while you're wrapping and while you are trying to resist the collapsing of the rib cage. Another thing to remember, or as a friendly reminder, is that you don't want to collapse the rib cage at the end of your exhale, at the end of your phrase. And this is super important. Keep the rib cage erect, release the belly to release tension and the rest of the air, and breathe in again. And this is super important because some of the students I have run out of breath, not because they're running out of air, but because they're building up tension in their body without releasing. So releasing tension at the end of the phrase or at the end of your exhalation by releasing the belly and breathing in again is super important. Because if you're not used to releasing tension at the end of your phrase, you might be just hyperventilating and you'll get dizzy. So another way to practice this is practice this really, really slowly. So if you're singing a song, sing your song, sing a phrase, take time to release tension before you inhale again. And then sing your phrase, release the belly, release tension, and inhale. And you'll see that you'll get a lot more mileage out of your breath if you make the habit of releasing tension at the end of your phrase. Okay? And if you do not have this exercise band, these are really cheap on Amazon, so you can get them very easily. But let's say that you don't have this on hand, but you still want to learn how to engage the intercostals. Another way to do that is by imagining you're squeezing the rib cage in and singing while keeping the rib cage erect, and imagine you're squeezing the rib cage in, and that will help engage the intercostals and your abs. So let's try that. Ready, and so we're gonna breathe, and we're gonna exhale through your teeth while trying to squeeze the rib cage in. Okay, ready, and breathe in. And out. Release the belly, keep the rib cage erect, and breathe in again. So I hope that helped. And if you have any questions, comment on the comment section and I will get to them. Thanks and have a great day.